Hello and happy Friday, everybody. Memorial Day weekend is here. So this is the busiest time of year, right, for most businesses that thrive on tourism. Why is one business in Old Orchard Beach, of all places, deciding to close for a few days each week? We'll talk about it.
Plus, you get the chance to weigh in tonight. How do you really feel about those visitors coming in?
All right, we all know about therapy dogs, but would you be okay with like a therapy cow or a pig or a chicken getting on an airplane?
This is News Center now. Weather in Vacation Land not exactly welcoming visitors tonight.
Friday Memorial Day weekend should mean a crowded pier at Old Orchard Beach, but these spots of rain and the clouds are keeping the beachgoers at home. Hello everybody, I'm Lee Goldberg.
And I'm Amanda Hill. Usually that is a very busy spot this time of year specifically, but I think we know who to blame.
Which is why we have Keith Carson outside of the building. He is not welcome on the premises anymore. Sorry, Casey, you're out until the sun comes out at least.
Yeah, you know what? And the thing is, it's actually not that bad right now, but yeah, you're far away from wanting to go to the beach, and I really don't see that, unfortunately, at any point this weekend. Things, though, will improve. You can tell here in Portland, it's not raining right now. We're in between bands of rain. Some of the heaviest have actually been across northern Maine. Most of the heavy rain fell overnight in southern and mid-coastal Maine, 2.5 inches plus, but if you look up towards Presque Isle and Holton and getting down into Eastport, that's where the rain is left over. So we'll deal with periods of light rain and showers through the rest of tonight as this low slowly slinks away from us. As it does so, temperatures drop only a couple of degrees. I think tomorrow is a hard-fought day, meaning that we've got a lot of low cloudiness and moisture that we've got to get out of the atmosphere. So although it's a dry day, I don't think we see much sunshine, particularly along the coastline, until later afternoon. That's when we start to break some of these clouds and get into some sunshine. Guys, it does look like Sunday is the better of the two weekend days. But yeah, as far as going to Old Orchard and laying on the beach, not going to happen anytime soon.
All right, put the mankini away for at least another day there, Keith. Despite the weather, it is supposed to be one of the, I don't want to see why did I even say that? Now it's in my head. It's supposed to be one of the busiest travel weekends of the year.
Yeah, AAA predicts more than 39 million Americans will leave town this weekend to see friends, family, or even go on a mini vacation. That's almost 1 million more than last year, and AAA says travel is only trending up.
Now, with the unofficial start of tourism season in Maine, we would like to hear from you.
So this may be your chance to vent or show your support for one of Maine's biggest economic boosts. So, how do you feel about tourists in Maine?
You have 3 options to choose from. You love tourists, you wish they would go away, it's kind of harsh, or you welcome them, but you kind of avoid them at all costs.
Voting will be up for all of News Center now, so you can go to pulse.newscenter.com or go to your mobile app and open up the Pulse tab. Meanwhile, even if you do love tourists in Maine, you have to admit you've complained about summer traffic at least once in your life.
Yeah, and there are some numbers to back up that claim. AAA says about of the 39 million people who will be traveling this weekend, almost 90% of them are driving. Dustin Vladkowski keeping an eye on those toll booth backups for us tonight. Hey, Dustin.
Hey, Lee and Amanda. Well, right now we don't have much of a backup here at Exit 45 in South Portland. This toll booth at least is looking pretty good at the moment. But today and yesterday are the 2 busiest travel days of this long weekend. Just how busy are they? I went to AAA of Northern New England to find out the answer to that question for you. They had some stats for us. This year, 2017, they expect the highest volume of Memorial Day travel since 2005. 1.8 million New Englanders are traveling 50 miles or more over the weekend. That's a 3% increase over last year. And because 90% of those people are traveling by car, driving experts say be careful because more drivers means more crashes.
We do know that some of the larger cities see an increase somewhere between 20 and 30% in crashes during that peak travel period. So making sure that you avoid the peak travel period going through those large cities and the congested areas.
And to get around that traffic, AAA has some more advice. Apps for your phone like Waze can help you go around those traffic jams. Lee and Amanda?
All right, thanks, Dustin. Okay, crowds are about to ramp up at Maine's famous beaches, but one Old Orchard business is actually having to cut back.
Yeah, this one really raised some eyebrows because the owners of Old Orchard House of Pizza said that they're being forced to shut down 3 days a week. They're actually choosing to do this. The reason? They can't find anyone to work there. John Gaudet and Mikhail Kuntz bought the place 2 years ago, and ever since, they've had to each work 120 hours a week just to keep things going. It has taken a toll on them physically and in their family life. So when they posted a sign saying they would have to be closed on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays until they can find some help, the message spread rapidly through social media.
The first night after we posted it, we reached 5,000 views on it, and it was amazing. We woke up the next morning and we were over 7, and by the end of the day we were over 10,000, and it's just amazing. We never expected this kind of reaction from it, that's for sure. And we're hoping, that this isn't going to have to be for very long. Definitely hoping for a temporary situation, but if it ends up that this is the way it is, then unfortunately it's how it's going to be. Until we either find the quality help or the season's over with.
An apparent meth lab fire tore through a trailer in Milford. Here's more news now. The Maine Drug Enforcement Agency is investigating what fire officials believe to be an illegal meth lab at the Pheasant Hill Trailer Park. No one was home when the blaze ignited, but neighbors say they are not surprised drug agents may have found a meth lab inside. A car crashed into an apartment complex in Portland this afternoon, sending 2 people to the hospital. Portland police say the building had to be evacuated and the fire department needed to stabilize the floor before they could pull the truck out. Strangely, this is not the only time a car crashed into a building in the past 24 hours. We will have that story coming up at 5:30. Lee?
All right, Amanda, thank you. I'm hanging out with Chris Rose at his desk now, and this is a story about some work that was done in the military, but nobody knew about this for a really long time.
Yeah, that's right. The work that Paul Laird, who was from Otisfield and members of the 84th Engineer Battalion, the work that they did was classified for nearly 2 decades. Well, today, Paul Laird was awarded his long overdue Humanitarian Service Medal for his work on a small island in the Pacific Ocean. From 1948 to 1952, the United States tested more than 40 nuclear weapons on several small islands in the Pacific. As a 20-year-old, Paul was sent there to clean up the radioactive debris. They are known as the unknown soldiers who served their country in an extremely dangerous environment. Now their stories are coming to light, but there's much more to their story than the cleanup. There's the aftermath of that work as well.
To me personally, I am very honored to get the medal. I earned the medal. I feel I deserve the medal, but is the medal the most important thing to me right now? No. What's important to me is to see the rest of my brothers and me, myself, get taken care of for what was done to us.
So what was done to Paul and other members of that battalion, we'll find out coming up on News Center at 6, and Lee will also hear about efforts that are underway to try to help them now.
All right, Crozy, thank you very much. Coming up next on Now, a sign of togetherness in the wake of tragedy that will give you chills.
A moving and spontaneous rendition of Don't Look Back in Anger by British rock band Oasis. Hundreds of people gathered in St. Anne's Square in Manchester, England for a nationwide moment of silence to honor the victims in Monday's terror attack in the city. But one lone woman in that crowd was the first to break the silence and began singing the first verse, and it wasn't long before everyone else sang in unison. Take a listen.
Stand out beside the fireplace, take that look from off your face. You ain't ever gonna burn my heart out. Sally can wait. She knows it's too late as we're walking on by.
Singer Ariana Grande released a lengthy and emotional statement on Twitter earlier this afternoon, announcing that she will return to Manchester for a benefit concert. The show will support and raise money for the victims and their families. She says she'll release more details when everything is confirmed. Amanda, I couldn't help but get goosebumps when I first watched that video.
Yeah, sad stuff. Thanks, Katie. Earlier this week during our show dedicated to first responders, we met a group of volunteer firefighters and talked about the struggle for many departments to find that on-call help. So next Monday, we're looking at ways departments are trying to change that.
And it's a multifaceted approach to try to solve that. And one of those approaches certainly has to be trying to get young folks engaged very early, get that spark in them and their interest and that enthusiasm before the rest of the circumstances of life as they grow up take over and manipulate their time.
Region 9 School of Applied Technology is one of 13 tech ed schools in Maine teaching hands-on classes like automotives, culinary arts, and fire science. The idea behind it is to get students excited about a career early and off to a head start with credits they can take to college. We'll meet a few of those students who, through the program, have already joined their local fire departments to help protect their communities. And we're going to learn more about how these programs work for high school students. That is Monday, right here on Now.
All right, we allowed Keith to come back inside. He will be in next with his full, much better than today, Memorial Day weekend forecast.
People in the Katahdin region are celebrating the official opening of the new monument despite the weather. Although there were only a few people on the trails during opening day, businesses in the area are hopeful the new monument will attract more tourists and increase revenue. Since its designation last fall, one man says his business rose by 33%. Others are hopeful the trajectory will continue.
All right, don't forget to vote in our polls question today. How do you feel about Maine's tourists? And if you're watching on Facebook, you know how Amanda feels.
We're already having a heated debate between the two of us. Your options are we love them, keep on visiting vacation land, or maybe you wish they'd all go away. And finally, tourists are welcome, but should be avoided at all costs.
Those are your choices. Okay, animals on the airplane. Anyone who travels frequently has seen that happen.
Airlines often let you pay to bring small animals into the cabin, and obviously service animals are allowed free of charge, but emotional support animals are in sort of this gray area.
So now emotional support animals do make a life-changing impact for owners who need them, but some people in the travel industry say frauds might be scamming the system to get out of having to pay for that animal, which can then threaten the legitimacy of real service animals and put safety at risk.
You'd be surprised.
There was a case of a man bringing a turkey on board.
We're seeing pigs.
Some airline flights are looking more like barnyards in the sky.
Miniature horses.
Rabbits.
Capuchin monkeys.
Lots of dogs, of course.
So how did we get to this point? For starters, flying with a pet can cost as much as $300 for a place in cargo.
The animals are shipped with the luggage and sometimes treated about the same way.
Here's the catch. A passenger can fly with a pet in the cabin if it's a certified emotional support animal, or ESA. How? It's completely legal under federal law. All you have to do is prove your pet is essential to your psychological well-being, and ESAs fly free.
Do you think people are gaming the system?
Yes. And I think because they're gaming the system, those that really need it are getting the short end of the stick.
The short end of the stick because people with disabilities, like Marine Corps veteran Mike Garvey, depend on highly trained service dogs.
Now, if people see me and my dog getting on a plane, are they worried? Are they like automatically just like hostile towards me? Like, is this dog gonna be the screaming baby? Someone told me a story while I was traveling about a little dog on a plane that just yapped for 3 hours in the back. And they were just, everyone on the plane was just ready to throw them off.
And the problem doesn't end there. Flight attendants will tell you some emotional support animals will bark and even lunge at passengers and crew members, run loose on the plane, relieve themselves in the aisles, and irritate passengers with allergies while terrifying others.
My greatest fear is that one day there'll be an evacuation and this animal that's not trained will be in the way.
It doesn't help that social media is filled with images like these, all violations of an FAA regulation.
Animals cannot sit in a passenger seat, even if their owner buys a seat.
So how difficult is it to get your animal certified?
Certipet.com. Pets with benefits.
I logged online and took a 5-minute psychological screening to see if I qualified for an emotional support animal.
Over the past 2 weeks, how often have you had little interest or pleasure in doing things? I'll say sometimes.
Thanks for completing the screening.
No surprise, I qualified for an ESA and earned the privilege of paying $149 for this official-looking letter. So after 5 minutes, someone I've never even met diagnoses me with a disability. Within hours, I had a downloadable letter confirming my psychological need to bring my rescue cat Huck on board any flight. We took the survey again.
Never. I'm saying I've never had any of these symptoms.
I was rejected. But wait.
Oh, but then I can retake my screening.
Not only could I take the psychological evaluation again, the site specifically reveals which answers will get me the certificate.
Stress, day-to-day life affected.
Instead of taking the test again, we up the ante and have photojournalist John Moger request certification for his emotional support hermit crab.
Hi, I'm wondering if there are any limitations on the types of animals that I can certify.
Carol in customer support responded.
She says, no, there's not. And ESA can be any pet that you have a special connection with.
So yeah, what do you think of that?
Well, I think that Keith does bring Reese's on the plane.
I do, but not as a therapy dog.
But he's small enough that he can...
He goes under the seat.
Right.
I think this is a little bit of a ripoff, honestly. They charge $125 each way for a dog that goes under your seat like a carry-on or like a personal item.
You know, I guess my question with all that is, what if you have someone sitting next to you who's very allergic to animals?
Yeah, I don't. You know, technically they only allow X amount per flight, so I think you could tell them, hey, I'm allergic, and they would move your seat. Seems to be. I mean, Reese's doesn't even come. They can't come out of the crate on the plane, and he doesn't make any noise. That's the anomaly, though.
He's Reese's.
That is the
He's
anomaly.
chill.
He's a cool dude. Even Guttner likes Reese's. That's saying something.
Yeah, he doesn't like anything.
He does not like dogs.
Like
All right.
with tourists.
I've been trying to avoid this. Forecast here. It's not going to happen though. Take a look at lows this morning. I just want you to kind of capture these in your head, right? Upper 40s. And take a look at the high temperatures today. Most of us only gained about 6 or 7 degrees from overnight lows to daytime highs. That is a sign that it was not a very nice day. And in fact, there's our low sitting there to the east. You can see the spin of it. The way this whole thing looks, it has a little bit of that nor'easter look to it and obviously producing rain, but the way it's spinning and sliding off to the east, it looks like a nor'easter on satellite as well. Most of the heavy rain for a lot of us fell during the overnight hours. Northeast wind, strong gusty wind bands came through in the rain as well, 2.5 inches in Portland before most of us even woke up. So the showers, for the large part, start decreasing here through tonight. By tomorrow morning, we are cloudy, but it's going to be a slow battle to get these clouds to erode, particularly along the coastline. So I just want you to be aware of that. It may not be till late afternoon that you see sun along the coast. It'll be clearing faster across northern Maine and the mountains. And then Sunday, I think, is the better of the 2 weekend days. We get more sunshine. Temperatures pump upward quicker into the upper 60s and low 70s. And we also fight back some of that sea breeze that would keep us cooler. So here's a look at your Memorial Day weekend on the whole. Again, rain is occurring right now. Saturday, it's a slow battle with those clouds, and then Sunday looks better. Memorial Day itself, I would wait the showers a little bit more in the afternoon. I do think a lot of us will see some showers, though, on Monday. As we look forward past Monday, we've got this upper level low sitting nearby, and it's going to be an unsettled pattern. Nothing like what we saw a couple of weeks ago where it was just nasty for a week, week and a half. But there will be chances of showers, and you'll see those portrayed here on our forecast on Tuesday and Wednesday. We start to ridge out of this on Thursday and Friday. That may allow temperatures to get warmer, and we might start to see a little bit more in the way of sunshine later in the week as well. But as far as the holiday weekend goes, I think Sunday is your best day. It will be dry on Saturday as well, and then afternoon showers later in the day on Memorial Day. Guys?
What if I want to go? All right, Keith, thank you very much. There's cake in the newsroom, which makes us happy. The reason for the cake, not so much. This is the last day that we'll be spending with our beloved friend, at least in this building. Not ever.
Yeah, seriously, I'm not dying. It's okay.
She'll come back. Yeah, so we're all gonna miss you.
Yeah, and I'm gonna miss you guys. And I really wish that we could stop talking about this, because like every time I pull myself back together, then it's like, oh, can we put you on TV so you can cry again? Right. That would be great.
Right.
And
it's good TV, really.
Yes.
I mean,
right. And I just keep going, well, as long as I get to be on
cry,
TV again, it's fine. So
we want to make you cry more because we have some viewer comments to read to you. Betsy says, loved so many of her stories, especially when she would play the violin. And of course, clam shucking.
Yes,
you
and this is
guys.
my clam shucking partner, the champions.
Mary
We are the
says she
champions.
could not pick just one favorite Caroline moment because there are too many to list.
Aw.
And Daniel says Caroline leaving is very sad news. We will miss her smile.
Oh, well, thank you guys very much, and I miss everybody too. And it's weird. People keep saying, "Are you gonna still do your Facebook page?" And I'm like, I mean, I guess I could. I don't know.
You
Like,
should.
What do I have to say? I don't know. Maybe.
Well, but in honesty, what did you have to say before?
Well, true. That's never stopped me, has it? Or you, for that
You
matter.
can just
Take
post
the one.
post about your
I know.
love for Lee.
I've got the sharp elbow going right now because I'm
Yeah.
holding
I'm
my
gonna- I'm
microphone
gonna
because
stand
my other
over
one
here.
died right before we went on. I was like, I got no place to put
All right,
this.
207 tonight
Is all about me.
Huge goodbye for you.
Yeah.
So, make sure you
the
watch
guys
that.
have not told me what they have planned, so it'll be a surprise for me too.
All right, bring the tissues. Watch 207. We love you.
Yes, we love you guys too.
We'll be back in a minute. All right, throughout the day, many of you have been weighing in as we asked you what you think about tourism season during Maine's summers.
Okay, so I think it's pretty clear. What wins out here is avoid when possible. 52% of you say you like them, but you avoid them.
30% say love them, and 18 say just go away, which is just not nice.
No, I
That's all
mean that's a big industry
Kinda
for
need
us.
to have them here.
Kind of need that.
Kind of a big
yeah.
deal. So
Plus, we have such a beautiful state. Why not share it, right?
you don't want to live in a state where people don't want to visit.
Exactly.
Trust
oh,
me.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, that's
There's
why
plenty
like,
of
during
those.
vacation in the summer, where are you going? What do you mean, where am I going? I'm staying right here.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is where everybody's
Yeah,
going. I'm not
us-
going to leave where everybody's headed.
Cindy mentioned that to me,
Yeah,
like,
always
don't
stay
go on
here in the
vacation ever
summertime.
during the summer.
Yeah.
I get that. All right, today's Brain Drops is about fitness trackers.
Well,
so a lot of people have these, right?
It's about me.
Some of them are built in on your phone, and they did some studies on them recently, Stanford did, and here's what they found out. They're pretty good at your heart rate, really good at your heart rate, which is an improvement. Really bad at calories burned. Basically, the best version of them was still, on average, wrong 70% of the time or more. So it was really off kilter. And unfortunately, the biggest error encouraging people who might be more likely to want to lose weight, which is people with higher BMIs, so body mass indices. So therefore, they had more error, and those are the people who are really tracking this.
So is this the step thing though? Like counting the steps and things? Is that a
The
different
steps
thing?
are going to be accurate. It's the
Okay.
calories burned
Because
that's
my
the
wife's
problem.
obsessed with the step thing. Like
Right.
all day, she's doing this. She's like, "Oh, how come Nicole has 15 steps more than me? I got to go walk more." Like, what is going
Which
on?
can
here?
be
She can keep track of her friends.
Which can be a positive.
Yeah, ask her about that.
But
It's
here's
weird.
another thing they found is that people who use fitness trackers don't lose weight as quickly as people who don't, because it helps justify things. So they'll say, well, I took X amount of steps and flights of stairs, I can eat this cupcake now. And so people actually lost weight slower with these than they did
All I
otherwise.
heard was cupcake. So
We
I'm
still
gonna
have
go
some.
grab
Those are
of
delicious,
Caroline's
actually.
cake. You guys can say
Yeah.
goodbye. You guys have a good weekend. I'm having more cake.
Cupcakes, they're
Center
like
at
little
5:30
ones.
now.
They're good.